The 2021 Class A Boys Basketball State Tournament opens on Thursday in Bismarck with some very intriguing quarterfinal matchups. Game 1 will be at noon in the Event Center, pitting East top seed Cheyenne against West 4 seed Mandan. The Mustangs earned the 1 seed by steamrolling the competition in the conference tournament. They outscored their 3 opponents by an average of 35 points per game, including a 37-point win over Davies in the conference championship. Tom Kirchhoffner's team hasn't lost since a 3-point setback in the season opener at West Fargo. Cheyenne is led by its pair of double-double machines. 6'10 senior Jackson Money is putting up 19 points and nearly 11 rebounds per game, while 6'9 senior Jaheim Leak isn't far behind at 18 points and 11 boards per contest. The Mustangs can score with anybody, but it's their defense that sets them apart. They're holding opponents under 60 points per game, which is number 1 among the state tournament field.
We got length, we got speed, we got everything we need on defense. So
we talked to them in the beginning of the season that offense makes you feel good, but defense brings teams together and defense wins championships. So our guys that bought into that, they understand that they got to protect the paint, and we're one of the one team in the East, and I think only 2 teams in the state that are holding teams under 60 points. So our guys know that if you want to win the games, you want to win the championship, you got to play defense.
Last year, all 4 teams believed that they had a chance to win it. So knowing that we're here again, we feel like we have something to prove.
Mandan punched its ticket to the dance by stunning Jamestown 70-66 in the state qualifier. If the Braves want to keep their unpredictable run going, they'll have to keep hitting from outside. Mandan has the second most efficient three-point shooting team in the tournament, right behind Davies. The Braves make nearly 38% from outside, led by leading scorers Jace Lohman and Jacob Pierce. Lohman and Pierce combined for 35 in the state qualifier win. We'll see if they can find their shooting touch early against Cheyenne's shutdown defense.
It always helps when when the ball goes in the hole. Obviously we're pretty guard oriented. Tyler, Jace, and Jacob, are starting 3 guards. When they make those perimeter shots, it helps a lot. But we can't just rely on that. We got to just run our offense. The thing about our offense is just we got to execute and take good shots. We're like anyone shooting the basketball. If it's an open shot, we want them to shoot it.
Game 2 features West top seed Bismarck against East 3 seed West Fargo in what has potential to be the best game of the day. The Demons' breakneck pace has given opponents all sorts of problems throughout the year, and it nearly helped them pull off a tournament championship, but Minot was able to hold on for a 1-point win. 6'5 junior Trayson Eaglestaff, who recently picked up an offer from UND, leads the way for the Demons, averaging 23 points per game, second in the WDA. He also leads the conference in steals at 2.7 per contest, while the team averages 15 of those a game. UMary commit Gunnar Swanson can erupt for a big game at any moment too. BHS was one of the Final 4 standing last year when COVID shut the tournament down. That should fuel their motivation as well.
I think there's no doubt that it was in the back of our minds, in the back of my players' minds, is something where we wanted to get back and try and prove that we belong there, and that we and the way last season ended, that we can kind of redeem ourselves for the way that it ended. But for us, ultimately, it's been a lot less talking about those future goals and getting to a state tournament and making a state tournament and making a run to a state tournament, more just about how much better we can get each day.
I think we're the deepest team in North Dakota. We go 12, 14 guys and 5 in, 5 out. So, I think we'll be pretty fresh and ready for, and really benefits in a 3-day tournament. While other teams may be getting tired and gas from back-to-back days, we'll stay fresh, I think.
West Fargo spent a handful of weeks at number 1 in the polls earlier this year thanks to its 11-0 start, which included handing Cheyenne its only loss of the year. The Packers have been a consistent offensive machine led by all-region talents Carson Hegerly, Brett Limke, and East Region Senior Athlete of the Year Carter Bierenkott. The 6'5 Bierenkott led the conference in scoring with 23 points per game and can clean the glass with the best of them at 10 boards a contest. He's a great finisher in the post, and you can expect the Packers to feed him early and often against the Demons. Bismarck's pressure will certainly test guards like Hagerly and Limke, but they've shown good composure throughout the season. I expect a battle to the final horn.
Just hustle, intensity, basically just getting the ball into playmakers' hands and just going to work on offense.
Bismarck's a difficult team to prepare for. They are so dynamic and so explosive. They can score in bunches. So we have to play consistent defense. We have to make them shoot shots late in the shot clock, not get those early ones. Then on our end, we have to rebound. Bismarck is probably the best rebounding team in the entire state. They send everybody there, so everyone that's on the court is accountable to rebound, go get the basketball, so we can go back on offense on our side.
The WDA regular season and tournament champion takes the floor in the 5 p.m. quarterfinal as Minot takes on the Cinderella of the tournament, Fargo North. The Magi have gotten the job done all year by being aggressive and passing up good shots to find the great ones. WDA Senior Athlete of the Year Deontay Martinez is one of the best finishers in the state. He can drive to the cup, he can hit pull-up jumpers all day, and has the touch from outside if you leave him open. He's averaging 22 points per game and nearly 4 assists. He's the floor general, while junior Eric Wentz and sophomore Derek Doucette have been reliable scorers throughout the year as well. This group could make a serious push to bring home a state title to Minot for the first time since the three-peat in 2017.
It's hard because you start looking back and you start questioning what you're doing. And we really actually came into this year, people picked us 6th throughout the league, and we simplified everything. I know that sounds, cliche, but we really did. We said we don't want our kids to worry about having to think. We want to go play. We want them used to reacting and playing off of each other and keeping it simple defensively and trying to do it well. And our kids have bought into it.
I think that's something that not a lot of teams have to go through, having that battle, that fight in that second half. It's not an easy thing to do. And the fact that we've had to do it multiple times, and we're ready for those close game situations and all the situations really where we're down with a lead, down late in the game, up late in the game, foul trouble. We've been through it all.
Fargo North is back at state for the first time since 2011. The Spartans, who had to win a play-in game just to make the EDC tournament, qualified for state thanks to a 62-58 victory over Shanley, a win that has them one game over 500 on the season. Ted Critchley has a balanced team that's highlighted by a pair of freshmen. Jeremiah Sem scored 16 of his team-high 19 points in the second half of the Spartans' come-from-behind victory over the Deacons. Then there's 6'5 freshman Carter Zeller, who came out of nowhere and nearly broke the school record when he scored 43 points against Valley City earlier this year. He's continued to back that performance up and is averaging 14 points and 11 rebounds over the last 4 games. The Spartans are playing with house money now, and they're hoping to pull a few more surprises at state.
It's crazy because all my siblings have came to the school before, and I've watched their basketball, and I've seen it, and it's crazy that I'm playing in the state tournament.
I would think that at this stage of the game, it's kind of an advantage for us. Our kids are excited. They're going to use that excitement. Hopefully that's positive adrenaline, and hopefully we just get off to a good start. And that's going to be the key, getting off to a good start regardless of what age they are.
Definitely more of a slashing team. Get to the basket quite a bit. I think we were second in rebounding in the state, so even though we're not the tallest team in our conference, we rebound really well. I know I score a lot of points in transition. We like to get out and run, especially when me or Jerry are sprinting down the floor. We get a lot of easy buckets that way.
The final game of quarterfinal Thursday pits the top scoring team in the state, Davies, against one of the stingiest defenses in the field in Jason Horner's Legacy Sabres. It's the first meeting between the two programs since Davies beat the Sabres by 30 in the state quarterfinal 2 years ago. The Eagles have found their identity throughout the season after replacing a large and talented senior class. Since starting the year 2-3, they've only faltered twice, with both losses coming to EDC champ Cheyenne. Senior Owen Heckner and junior Ian Muchenbaker lead the Eagles in scoring at 18 and 17 points per game respectively. Bart Manson's roster is littered with shooters. Heckner, Muchenbaker, and 8th grader Mason Clabo boast the top 3 3-point percentages in the conference, and the Eagles as a team are shooting a blistering 42.5% from outside. Cheyenne held them in check in the region final, but look for this group of sharpshooters to bounce back in Bismarck.
Everyone together coming as a team, at the beginning of the year we used to be that one pass, one shot kind of team. Now we're working the ball around, getting everyone touches, looking for the best shot that we can get.
Legacy has done a good job of defending the perimeter this year, though. Teams are shooting under 30% from outside against the Sabres. That's a tip of the cap to their solid defense led by standout senior Nick Kupfer, who also leads the state in scoring at just over 24 points per game. Junior Xander Albers is a game-planning nightmare on both ends as well. The 6'4" forward leads the team in rebounds, blocks, steals, and averages 13 points a game. Legacy has the talent to pull the upset. They just need to limit big runs from the opposition, something that bit them against Minot in the conference semifinals.
We've been working really hard against every team, and we've been preparing as much as we possibly can. And just the intensity, once you score on offense, you just want to play harder defense and just keep scoring, and it all starts with defense, though.